there friends, Debbie here with Debbie Gets Crafty, and happy Tuesday. And you know what that means, we're working on our birdhouse plaque. So let's get started. And I'm just going to take this entire, there we go, set that aside. And how are you today? I hope you're doing really well. So let's get started. We're going to go ahead and focus in on this portion of the birdhouse today. And let's see how far we can get. There we go. Bring that over just a little bit and tilt it. All right, so we're going to start with the letter N like Nancy. And how are you doing today? I am wonderful. I woke up this morning, so I'm ahead of the game. Let's go ahead and put a little wax on our pen, and then we'll get started. I'm actually, of course, you know, filming this early ahead of time, so there we go. I'm actually filming this on, pardon me, there we go, filming this on 4th of July, which is a Thursday, which I think is the earliest I've ever filmed for the week. But you know what? I had some time to do it, and I thought, why not? I need a piece of release paper. There we go. Because my arm was getting in the way. Oh, you hear that? So yes, I am filming this on 4th of July. I figure I would get a jump start on my weekly filming. I am going to use a different pen for now because I want to do a little multi-placing. And I can't stand that 3-placer. Four placers, even though I'm using this to place 2 drills, 3 drills at a time, that multi-placer, that 3 multi-placer, I can't stand it. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're cooking with gas. Whenever I say that, I think about camping and cooking with the little propane tanks. My mom and dad, they used to have one of those Coleman propane stoves. And Todd and I have one, as a matter of fact. Had it for years. And I always remember, you know, growing up, Mom and Dad used to have the Coleman stove, and we used to have one of those lanterns that had the little white wick in them. Kerosene lanterns, I guess they were called. And you'd have to pump the kerosene. You know, there was a little lever that you pumped up and down, and that fed the kerosene up into the, you know, got the wick wet, and then you'd light it, and you'd hear that shh. That's a very loud sound that it used to make. And we never had, I don't think we ever had a kerosene heater in our tent. We used to do mostly tent camping. We didn't have, I don't think we had a kerosene heater in our tent. I can't honestly remember. Judy from Crafting with Judy, my twin sister, she could tell me if she remembers a kerosene heater. I don't remember it. We may have had one at one time or another, but Mom and Dad were never big fans of those kerosene heaters, so I don't think we did. But definitely the kerosene lantern. I know we had that. And boy, we thought we were big time when Mom and Dad got a 2-room cabin tent. Oh boy, we were big shots. Mom and Dad had their room. Judy and I had our room. So much fun camping. I remember having s'mores out by the fire and sitting there and listening at night to the frogs and everything. And that's honestly where my love of camping. There was a campsite where there was a playground literally right across from where we used to go camping, in the campgrounds. And Judy and I met so many people there, made so many friends there. And we would be able, you know, when we're a little older, we would go over there in the evening and just sit around on the swing set and talk with our new friends and stuff. I mean, we met people from, you know, New York City and all over the place that used to come and camp at these campgrounds that we went to. The camaraderie when you camp is really nice. I remember, and you know, Mom and Dad used to have, Mom and Dad used to have there we go. Every so often they'd bring their hammock up. They had one of those self-standing hammocks, not one that you tied to trees, but it had it, like the hammock sat, you know, it was attached to a frame. I remember plenty of days just laying there in the hammock, looking up at the trees, listening to the, you know, the katydids and the crickets and everything, and just having a great summer. So when Todd and I got together and we decided to go camping, we started out with a little pup tent, a little 2-person tent. Suffice to say, I think we only used that one season, because my husband is 6'4.5", so him having to get down to the ground was not ideal for him. And then we ended up getting a 2-room tent. There we go. So we finished that area. And actually that retires the letter N, that beautiful cocoa brown. There we go. And I think we'll get to work on the letter M like Mary, because we have right here some of the leaves that we're going to work on over here, and then we'll continue to work on the rest of the roof as well. There we go. I just want to fill in some of these. I'll put that back since it's a multi-placer. I don't need it anymore. Actually, I'm going to use it. I can. But then, you know, we when we moved from New York to Kentucky, we left all that stuff behind. All the camping. No, I think we brought it with us. That's right, we brought it with us. Boy, my memory is like a steel sieve. We brought it with us because we used it when we were in Kentucky one time. And then just before we moved to Florida, we sold it at a yard sale. But then, once we moved from Florida to Tennessee, we decided to start from scratch with our camping gear. And I'm so glad we have it now, too. Because you never know, you know, if bad weather comes up and we lose power. We have our little Coleman stove. We have, and that's actually our original Coleman stove. We did take that with us, but the only thing we sold was the tent and the sleeping bags. But we kept our Coleman stove. So we've had that stove for years. And, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and work on the letter J. Because you never know when, heaven forbid, bad weather pops up, and if we lose power, you know, at least we'll have a way to cook things, you know, heat water and for coffee and stuff like that. So and we always make sure that we have a supply of the little propane tanks. But a lot of our camping gear, we love having it because, like I say, God forbid, bad weather comes around. We have things, you know, if we need to, we can throw our tent and our supplies. It's literally feet, within feet of our Jeep. So if we needed to pack up for some reason, we would have the opportunity to throw our camping gear in and be set. But lots of camping memories. I love camping. Todd and I, when we first started camping again a couple years ago, our first camping trip was around March, early March, for Todd's birthday. He had never been camping for his birthday before, so that was a treat. And it was technically still winter. I think, yeah, it was technically still winter. Spring doesn't officially start until, I think, April. But, so it was the tail end of winter, the season. So that was neat to say we went camping in the winter. Now, we've never been camping in, like, the winter time. I've always wanted to do that. Todd and I follow a lot of different channels on YouTube that do camping during the winter time. Oh my gosh. It looks like so much fun. But you'd have to have like some kind of a heating. Now we have an electric heater because we usually camp at an electric site. And that actually, believe it or not, does warm the tent up. But if you were going to do any like deep winter camping, you'd have to have some kind of like a little wood stove. And they make the cutest little wood stoves. That go into tents. Really neat. But then you have to have a special tent that's got, well, I mean, you can always cut a hole in the side of your tent to put the stovepipe. But then, you know, you're cutting a hole in, you have a hole in the side of your tent. But they do make special tents where they have this, what they call the stove jack, which is the hole pre-cut where you can put your stovepipe up, and it comes with a cover as well. So that's kind of neat. I would much rather camp in the wintertime than in the summertime. That being said, now I've seen some people on some Facebook sites that I follow with camping, and some of these people actually buy a window air conditioner like for your house, and they set it up and they run the hose. They run a hose to the inside of the tent, and that's what cools the tent down. I mean, that's next level, if you ask me. But then you'd have to, you know, schlub the air conditioner with you and schlub it home, and what a pain in the rear. But it works though. There's all kinds of different, you know, things that you could do that you can fashion together, all kinds of gadgets that you can fashion together to create like what they call a hillbilly air conditioning, where you take a cooler, like a styrofoam cooler, cut a hole in the top for a hose, not a hose, but like a pipe, and you stick a little fan on the inside. You get ice. You put ice in the cooler. You stick the fan inside the cooler with the ice. The fan blows the cold air out through the pipe into the tent. But you'd have to spend a ton of money if it's really hot just to keep yourself on ice. So, I don't know. That's why I don't like to go camping during the summertime, because I used to when I was little. My parents took us camping in the summertime, and I didn't bother, you know, the heat never bothered me then. But, no way. Not for me. You know what, friends? We are just about at that time. I didn't realize how long we were at, and I'm just yapping away. So I think on that note, I'm going to finish this one little row here, and then I'm going to call it a day. Next time I see you for this particular project, we'll finish this area right here and see what else we'll get done. So friends, I want to thank you so much. Let's go ahead and pull you back out. Look at our progress. We're getting there. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. Please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that bell notification. You'll be notified every time that I upload a video. Please also leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite summertime to-dos are, and let me know how you're doing, and also hit that thumbs up button. Until I see you all again, my friends, you take care, stay safe, God bless, happy crafting, goodbye now.